Hello and welcome to my video essay on why roguelike fans should be playing board games. Okay, let's cut to the chase. Let's create a clarification already. In this video, we're going to talk about two topics: board games and roguelike games. And when we talk about board games, I'm not talking about Monopoly and Life and card games like Uno. We're talking about more complex modern board games that actually require using your brain. Games like Arc Nova, Wingspan, Viticulture, card games like Fantasy Realms or Challengers. And when I'm talking about roguelikes, we're not going to be using the Berlin definition of a roguelike where they have to be ASCII art and they're traditional roguelike games. We're going to talk more in the modern definition of a roguelike, which includes games like The Binding of Isaac, Slay the Spire, Balatro, and so many more games that you've probably seen on my channel. If you're mad at anything I just said, just leave a like on the video, subscribe, and then close this tab. Now that we got that taken care of, what the hell is this guy talking about? What is he smoking with board games and roguelikes? Well, let's start by saying that I have played a lot of roguelikes on my channel. I'm known as the roguelike guy. I've played over 300 unique roguelike games on my channel. I cover roguelikes for the last 12 years here on YouTube, but secretly on the side in a fabled world called real life, I'm a pretty big board game enthusiast, and many people are going to say, ew, more like I'm bored games, but today I'm really hoping that I can change your point of view on that. Because I've been thinking recently why I like both roguelikes and board games so much, and I've started to realize that it's because they're extremely similar. They're wrinkling extremely similar parts of my brain when I play each one of them. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that board games are roguelikes. Even I know that's an insane claim to make, and I will probably make that claim at some point during this video. But to understand this similarity, we first have to understand what actually defines a roguelike game. In modern roguelike games, there's three main components that you're looking for. Some form of randomized generation. Maybe it's in the room and the level design, could be the item distribution, the enemy placements, something along those lines. You also have permadeath. This is the one that everybody thinks of. Once you die, your run ends, and the next time you play, you restart back at the beginning the next time. And then finally, the one that is a little bit more peculiar is turn-based gameplay. We're going to pause for a second because this one really only matters if you're following the Berlin definition, which I already said I don't want to even remotely follow for this video, but it also helps my argument with board games and roguelikes, so I'm putting it in here anyway. Those three things are really all you need to make a roguelike today, and developers are twisting that definition and expanding the genre. Games like Luck Be a Landlord, for instance, take the randomized generation as being a deck builder, where you add symbols to a slot machine that is then randomized, and your turn-based gameplay is simply clicking a button to spin the slot machine. Then you have games like The Binding of Isaac that are not even turn-based in the slightest, but they have randomized floor layouts, and there's 700 plus randomized items that you can find, and there's permadeath after you dungeon crawl through the countless unique floors with crazy randomized enemies and bosses. But why does all of this matter, right? You know what a roguelike is, you clicked on this video. What does any of that have to do with rolling dice in a board game? Well, let's take a look at a fairly popular board game, one that I consider to be the gateway drug to board gaming that even non-board game fans have probably heard of at this point: the Settlers of Catan. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you need to play Catan. In fact, I can probably give you 100 games you should play instead of Catan. But what Catan did for me was open my eyes to the world of board gaming, and it just so happens to share some features of roguelike games. At the beginning of each Catan game, the resource tiles and their associated dice roll numbers are randomized on your board. Hell, if you're playing with the Seafarers expansion, your board itself could be randomized as well, with land tiles and sea tiles being mixed up around your board. Once you start the game, you're competing until somebody gets a certain number of victory points, in which case the game ends and your run is over. The next time you play, you're completely resetting the game with new randomized layouts and resources, and resetting your points to 0. Finally, it is turn-based. Everybody gets to make their decisions on their turn, and then pass their turn to the next player. Does this sound familiar? Good. Let's continue. There's countless roguelike video game ideas that I see in board games and card games that I love playing. The first time that I played Wingspan, a brilliant bird-based deck-building, engine-building game, I immediately felt like I was playing a roguelike. Hundreds of unique birds with unique abilities that chain together synergies to create points. It feels like when you get that new item in a Binding of Isaac run that synergizes with all of your other items, where now you're creating these huge damage bursts that you didn't know was possible. You're getting those same dopamine rushes, they're just confined to the tabletop in front of you. Another great example of this is in the card game Fantasy Realms. God, I love this game. You're building up a hand of cards that all synergize together in order to build these explosive big number point builds. It kind of feels like when you're building a set of jokers in Balatro that chain together to create these huge wins with a ton of point values. It also reminds me a little of The Bazaar, which is an auto-battler roguelike PvP game that released earlier this year, where you're optimizing the items in your inventory to all work together and cause major damage. There's also a subsection of board games that are known as worker placement games. Games where you're given a handful of workers or resources that you assign to spots on the board to generate your resources. One of my favorites is a game called Viticulture. You're building a winery in Italy and you're assigning workers to plant your grapes and then harvest your grapes, and you're building buildings that allow you to turn the grapes into wine and then store the wine and age the wine. It's a mess. Another one of these games is Agricola, which is a full, expansive farming game where you're placing your workers to build and manage a farmstead, such as sowing crops, taking care of animals. So seeing these, it's really not a surprise that one of my favorite roguelikes of all time is Dot Age, this worker placement video game where you're working your way through the apocalypse by building a city with these little pip workers that go and get resources, but you have to manage their food and their health, and there's randomized events that have a chance to just kill you and create giant hurricanes in the world. It's just a very random but very confined and balanced game. There's also auto-battlers in board gaming now. Games like Challengers, a deck-building auto-battler where you build your randomized deck, the cards come out randomly, and you battle your opponents. It's very similar to hitting the spin button in Luck Be a Landlord and watching your deck of curated symbols randomly give you points. But don't get me started on my favorite genre of board games, which is cooperative games. Games where you're playing with your friends instead of against your friends. Games like Pandemic, for example, where you have randomized disasters around the world and you have to think through these complex scenarios and randomized cards you've been given to stop the world from the brink of a deadly plague. Now, some people are going to go, Tyler, roguelikes are meant to be a single-player experience. I really don't think that introducing cooperative ideas is fitting your point here, and I have to tell you, I pretty much firmly disagree with you, and I think that the video game market is also disagreeing too. Just recently, The Binding of Isaac launched a brand new update with online multiplayer after having a firm no multiplayer stance for many, many years. Slay the Spire and Balatro both have popular multiplayer mods that allow players to deck build together, and more roguelikes like Across the Obelisk, Mosalina, Spelunky 2, and more launch with co-op options allowing players to share their experiences together. Gamers are craving the togetherness, that camaraderie of playing games cooperatively, and the difficulty and the scale of roguelikes makes that experience even more valuable. Now look, I'm still not saying that board games are roguelikes. We're stretching definitions here a lot. But you can see how my tiny little human brain starts to form connections between these video games I love playing and these tabletop games I love playing. Video game designers continue to draw inspiration from board games and card games for their games, and vice versa. When Slay the Spire, the most popular deck-building roguelike of all time, released, the developers openly spoke about an inspiration for the game being Dominion, a deck-building tabletop card game where you're building a deck of actions and victory points in an effort to maximize your score against other players. Another popular roguelike game, FTL, points to Battlestar Galactica, the board game, as a large inspiration for its design and mechanics. And heck, even some of these video game designers, like the Slay the Spire developers, like the Binding of Isaac developer Edmund McMillan, like the Dead Cells developers, have gone on to make board games of their respective games, bringing the roguelike experience straight to the tabletop. Binding of Isaac 4 Souls draws inspiration from games like Munchkin to provide players with a brutal random experience, with players able to launch crazy attacks on each other while still cooperatively fighting through the many monsters in the game. You're collecting hundreds of items, just like how the Binding of Isaac works. The Slay the Spire board game is the closest replica of the video game in a board game format. It's brilliantly combined with cooperative mechanics so players can climb the ascension levels of the Spire together while tweaking the card and relic designs in this new tightly knit co-op Slay the Spire experience. And then the Dead Cells board game just completely shakes this up because it turned a 2D platformer into a cooperative turn-based dungeon crawler. All brilliant in their own right while holding those ties back to their video game predecessors. So, in my eyes, it's impossible to ignore the connection between roguelikes and board games. So what are you waiting for? If you're a roguelike fan, maybe it is time to go pick up that copy of Wingspan at Target for your next game night. And if you're a board gamer looking to dip into video games, it's gonna be worth checking out Dot-Age so you can get lost for hours in your new civilization. I'm going to be covering some more board games here on the channel in the next couple of weeks, try to diversify content, dip into a new space. I think it could be a lot of fun, but I figured I'd throw some gameplay at the end of this video as well to get you excited about seeing some new board games. We're going to play some Wingspan. We talked about it a lot in this video. I think it's really a perfect gateway game into board gaming, and the digital version is nothing short of incredible. It's a very, very well done digital board game adaptation. So let's play some Wingspan today, and I'll teach you how to play, and we'll mess around with some fun little birds in this board game. I'm not going to play online. We're going to play against some just AI, right? We can play against some bots here, which makes it pretty easy, pretty good. So me versus 3 bots. I'm this cute little blue jay looking son of a gun. We'll fight against the bots. There are expansions in this game as well. Maybe in the future we'll mess around with the expansions and play around. I do have a couple of them. So let's start, and I'll teach you how to play a little bit in Wingspan. So we're going to have to start. We're going to get the choice of a couple different birds. The AI are taking their sweet time deciding what to do with their turn, and then we'll get to go here. And there's a lot of information that you're going to be bombarded with, which is a pretty common thing with board games, at least modern board games. A lot of reading and rules, but then the actual gameplay is not too difficult. And they help you to understand it right here on the left. So on your turn, you're going to take one of 4 actions, okay? So we get to take one singular action. You got the choice of 4. We can play a bird, we can gain some food, we can lay some eggs, or we can draw more birds. It's really that simple. But what makes Wingspan kind of interesting is when we play a bird from our hand, we're playing it in forest, the grassland, or the wetland. So what happens is when we then take the action in the forest, grassland, or wetland, we're activating all of the powers of the birds in that area as well. So we're kind of building up a quote-unquote engine, okay? That's a term you'll hear a lot in board gaming, or engine builders, and building an engine, where it's kind of you're laying down cards to build up a big synergy that allows you to get more points. So the game is played over the course of 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5, which is math I can't do in my head this quickly, number of rounds, and each I mean, you have 4 rounds, but 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 turns in those rounds. So we'll get to play, it's 15 plus 11, 26 actions, okay? I can do the math in my head. 26 actions we'll take over the course of the game. At the end of each round, round 1 being 8 turns in round 1, we will score this little objective up here in the top right, and that'll be kind of competed against all 4 of the players. So this is eggs within round nests, okay? Then at the end of round 2, we're going to see who has the most eggs in stick nests. Then it's going to be birds in the wetlands and birds in the grasslands. So we're going to be building up thinking about these goals and objectives as the game goes on, which is fun to think about. Gives us a little bit of a brain-burny task to figure out. So let's start, okay? At the beginning of the game, I get to choose 5 things, okay? And those things are basically, I have 5 birds that I have been given, and then I have 5 food that I have been given, 1 of each type. Now, certain birds eat certain food, right? So we have the yellow-rumped warbler, for example, which I wish my name was as interesting as the yellow-rumped warbler. What a damn name, man. This guy can eat berries, bugs, or wheat, okay? Which makes him pretty good, but he's a low number of victory points. He only gives us 1 victory point. But when activated, I can tuck a card from my hand behind this bird. If I do, I draw a card. And the nice part here is that when you tuck a card behind a bird, that tucked card gives you points at the end of the game. Every tucked card you tuck is a point. So it's pretty good, to be honest with you. I really like this guy. We place him in the grassland as well, which unfortunately does not help us with our synergies up here. But I think it's still okay. Thinking the Brewer's Blackbird is very strong, okay? I'm also looking at this guy, it has a round nest, which, you know, we want to build in with that as well. So the Brewer's Blackbird, we would play him in the grassland. He needs any food plus a wheat. 3 victory points, which is decent, right? I think it's decent. Tuck a bird from your hand behind this bird, and if you do, I lay an egg on this guy. Certain birds can have certain number of eggs. So this guy can have 4 eggs placed on him. This guy can have 3 eggs placed on him. We will need eggs to lay more birds, but eggs also give you a victory point at the end of the game. So we want to balance having that as well. There's a lot to think about here. I mean, the reality is that I really like both of these. But this guy is a stick nest, which makes him interesting for our next objective. This guy's interesting just because he goes in the wetlands, and we do need some birds in the wetlands. And he has an interesting effect, right? So when all dice not in the bird feeder, which we'll have, you can kind of see in the background that we'll be rolling the dice and being able to pick out the food. If there's any fish, I gain a fish and I cash it on this card. And then any cash food becomes victory points. There's a lot to keep track of. I promise it makes sense when we keep playing. But then the other thing that I'm looking at is the spotted owl, right, man? Draw 2 new bonus cards. So bonus cards, here's another choice I get to take, which is a little objective just for me during the game that I can kind of go towards. And we already are looking decent on the backyard birder, right? Bird's worth less than 4 points. I'm already taking 2, so this seems pretty okay. Birds with a skull power, 2 points per bird. We have the choice to do that as well. Both of these guys have a skull power, but they don't really fit for anything else we're doing. So I'm going to take the backyard birder. And I think I'm just going to stick with these 2 birds, man. And then we're going to get the food to make it happen. So you can be a berry, you need a wheat, and then you need anything else. So I'll take a rat. I'll take a rat. So these are 5 things I'm going to keep, and we're going to start the game here. So now on my turn, I get to take an action, right? Doesn't matter what action I take, but we will want to take an action of some kind. It is my turn. I would like to play down my yellow-rumped warbler, okay? I think that it's valuable for us to do that. I definitely want to use my berry, because this guy uses the wheat that I collected. Here's all my food over here. So yeah, I'm gonna play the yellow-rumped warbler, and I feel good about it. And now, every time I gain food from the bird feeder, it will activate his ability. So I want to make sure, if I'm going to grab food from the bird feeder, I want to have cards in my hand ready to go so that I can tuck a card behind him and draw another card. So it is my turn. We can play our Brewer Blackbird. We can. I kind of don't want to yet. Because I kind of want to... I kind of want to get another bird in my hand right now. So we're going to jump down to the wetlands here, which is where I can draw bird cards. I can draw any of the birds that are down right here, or I can draw randomly. So we are going to do this. I'm going to draw a bird. And let's take a look at what we got. We got a stick nest guy over here with a when activated. He would go in the grasslands. 2 mice to play him, which is a little bit of a tough one. I like bonus cards. I'm a fan of that. I like the ability for this guy to lay eggs on any bird. It's also relatively strong. 3 victory points plays into my backyard birder as well. I think I'm going to take you. Okay, I think I'm going to take you. Now, the problem is that I'm, now deciding what to do next, right? We can go a multitude of directions. We need to get more card draw, right? So the way to get more card draw is to continue to put birds in the wetlands, right? You can kind of see here. So the first slot, we're going to activate the one that's farthest to the left. Once I put a bird here, the furthest to the left is this one, which means that I draw a card, but I can also spend an egg to get an additional. Once I put a bird there, now I just permanently draw 2 cards from here, and so on and so forth. We need to get some cards into the wetlands in order to generate more cards to keep our synergies with the tucked cards going. So I'm looking at potentially buying the Northern Harrier here, who can go in the wetlands. He costs a rat to go in. When activated, we also have some tucking potential, but it's tucking from the deck as well. So I'm really going like kind of tuck crazy right now. You can call me freaking Tuck Everlasting. Put me a Northern Harrier. And I think that I'm probably going to play you on the next turn, because I think that you're kind of sick, actually. And I'm spending a lot of turns getting birds. We only have 5 turns left in this first round. And we want to make sure we get eggs in round nests. But I think it's fine for now. We can at any point also check our goals and see where people are sitting on them. Right now, player green has 2 eggs in round nests already. So I gotta catch up, okay? I gotta catch up if we hope to do that. So let's play our Northern Harrier. We're going to use the rat. Obviously, I needed that rat in order to play down our Brewer's Blackbird. And we need to get him down, like, ASAP, to be honest with you. But I think that having this guy down to draw more birds is a good play. Because now I would like to... Well, we need to get... I need to get a bird down. I think we have to say goodbye to one of you. So it has to be the Baird Sparrow. I mean, we don't have to say goodbye to you. I'm thinking of this in the sense that I have to draw for some food, okay? Yeah, I gotta draw for some food. And it's a good time to do it, too. So let's get some food. We're gonna activate this guy, though, which means that I can tuck a bird. I really don't want to tuck these birds, though. We need to have more crappy birds. We need to think ahead, okay? We need to think ahead. I got 4 turns. I draw food. We're going to be able to reroll the bird feeder because there's only one thing in it. So I can ensure that we can get a worm if I want to. But I really need this guy. So really I can take anything from the bird feeder. We would draw food, play him. I need to then activate the grassland on another turn to get more eggs, because I need to get eggs on these guys. But I need to tuck a card to do that, which allows me to lay a bird down. So you know what? I am actually going to I'm gonna sacrifice the Baird Sparrow. Which is a shame, because I like him. I think that he's a good card. It's a difficult decision. This is what board games do, man. They put you into difficult decisions. Just like any roguelike would put you into a difficult decision. 4 turns is just not a lot for me to get a maximum amount of eggs in here. But we're building a strong future, I think. And the Brewer Blackbird is just, he's so freaking good, man. He is so good. So, let's gain food, okay? I am going to re-roll. Nah, I think I'm just gonna take the, I'm gonna take the cherry. I'm gonna take the cherry. And then we can tuck a card if I want to, or I can skip it. I'm going to tuck the Baird Sparrow. Okay, and then that draws another card. I can draw any of these, which is intriguing. Repeat one of the powers in this. Nah. Discard an egg from your other birds to gain 2 random stuff from the supply. You're a 5 victory point bird, though. But you can go anywhere, which gives us a lot of flexibility. So I could put you down in the swamp. Gets me to draw more cards. Okay, I am going to take you. There's a chance I tuck you. I'm just going to be real with you. I think that you have a strong tucking potential. And every time we do this action, I get to lay 2 eggs at the beginning, which is pretty good, okay? So we are going to play a bird. We got to play this guy. It's kind of a non-negotiable because he's part of our circular round nest synergy that we're doing. So let's keep him nice and happy for right now. I'm not in love with this build so far. But I think it's okay. The American Woodcock and the White-Breasted Nuthatch are insane bird names, man. Absolutely unhinged. Okay. So here's the thing. The Common Raven does not play into our Backyard Birder build, even though he kind of rocks. We are going to activate this and lay some eggs, okay? So I would like to lay eggs on this sucker. And then I can tuck a card from my hand. Keep in mind that's a point whenever I do that as well. And it lays an egg on him. So now, if we take a look, I've got 3 eggs in round nests, which puts me in a really good spot moving forward. I like it. 1 turn left. I have no birds. I have no food. It's obviously not great, okay? It's not great. We can do one of 2 things. I think our options are I can either draw some birds, okay, and get things kind of flowing here. When played, gain 3 wheat from the supply is a nice card too. The other thing I can do is I can just play more eggs, right? It would probably guarantee nobody's gonna get 3 eggs played on this turn. Well, in fact, I'm the last person to go. So no one is doing that regardless, which means I don't have to do that. That does make things interesting. That makes things interesting. Because now I definitely do not have to do that, which means I should probably draw birds. I can't spend an egg to get another, though. So let's draw a singular bird, okay? Do I like any of these birds for playing potential? These guys, obviously, all three of them are well, less than 4 points. You're the only one less than 3. 2 wheat, and you get your wheat immediately back is kind of interesting. But a round nest does not super help me in any way. So I'm going to take randomly from the deck here. And play an additional bird in your forest when played, but I have to pay the normal cost. Could be okay. You only cost 2. The other option is that I could just sacrifice you, right? You could be a tuckable bird. So now we're checking out our Northern Harrier. We're looking at the top card of the deck. If it's less than 75 centimeters, he eats it and tucks it. Yeah, I mean, that is way less than 75, so beautiful. He gets tucked. That's another point for me later. I think it's a decent first turn for me, man. Or first round for me. We claim the top spot, so I get 4 victory points. And now we have to mess around, right, with some eggs in stick nests. Fortunately, this guy is a stick nest, but I don't have any other birds that are stick nests. So we got to figure out how to make this one happen. I think I need to just draw more birds is the reality. Like we have to get more birds going right now. And I'm happy to spend some eggs to do it. None of these are useful to me. I do not want any of them, really. So I'm going to draw randomly. So for victory point, you can be played anywhere. And when activated, everybody gets a cherry. Okay. You're fine, right? You're fine. I am going to pay for another. So we're going to steal an egg. Let's steal an egg from this guy for right now, because we have more ways to get eggs from him. And we're going to grab the scissor-tailed flycatcher. Brother, this is the guy on the logo of the game. He's worth 8 points. I'm going to probably just, like, tuck his ass, though. Okay. It's good. We have some birds to work with. This is probably... Yeah, this is Northern Harrier Boy. 38 is lovely. I would have loved to have him, though, to be honest with you. When activated, all players draw more cards. You would have gone crazy, man. Obviously, like, you're tucked, so goodbye. But it would have been nice to have you. We've got birds to work with. I'd like to play the Ruby Crown Kinglet at some point. The only issue with this guy is his ability is not too useful for me. So I'm kind of just like vibing for right now with him. I really hate all of the birds that are out here. So we're just like running blind. It's tough. I'm going to draw more birds though, man. The fish crow. Discard an egg from one of your birds to gain stuff from the supply. You need a fish and anything. You're a stick nest, though. Okay, we'll take you. I am going to sacrifice another egg. This might be insane, okay? We're playing some crazy game right now. The common merganser. Roll all dice. If there's any fish, cash it. I mean, I'll take you. You're probably a tuckable, too. It's a tough situation. A 99 does not work, man. Okay, tough one. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. Okay, where are we at with people with stick nests? You got 2 right now. You got 2 eggs and stick nests. I gotta get some loot. Okay, I need some food. Let's snag. Obviously, like, fish would have been useful. I definitely need to get you played. So let's start with a simple berry. Okay, a simple berry. And then you're going to get tucked to draw a card. I don't think I'm ever playing the common merganser. I'm just going to be real with you. Or am I? Because I do need birds in there. So you're kind of sick. I'm never playing the scissor-tailed flycatcher. So you can go. Because I'm not going to afford you, ever. I don't like any of you, man. Players with the fewest swamp birds draw a card. I intend on having a lot of swamp birds, though, so I'm going to take a random. When activated, tuck a card from your hand. Okay. Sure. Welcome ring-billed gull. I will say that I have a lot of birds that are worth more than 4 points right now, that's a big problem for me moving forward. We have some unfortunate draw right now. I mean, it's just how it goes. So 4 more turns left in this round. I can play down our little tiny guy, which is exciting. But I could also lay down this guy in here too, if I got another food. Which is kind of cool, right? Because we would get 2 for the price of 1. But that means that I would have to be activating to get food. I guess I will. Let's re-roll it. This is a horrid draw. Absolutely terrible. Take one of these. We really wanted... We really wanted a fish, I think. Although, I don't know. We wanted anything to be able to play this guy, so I guess it's fine. We will tuck a card from hand. I think you gotta tuck this guy. because he just doesn't help me that much. And then we can draw another card. It's a low amount of stickness. I'm going to draw random again, man. Okay, a 2 victory point lad and another tuck, and if you do lay an egg. It's tuck everlasting, man. We are the tucking king. Which is a sentence I didn't expect to say today. I'm just gonna be very blunt with you. 3 turns left. The American Oyster Catcher. Draw cards equal to the number of players plus 1, starting with you and proceeding clockwise. Each player selects one of those cards and places it in their hand. Okay. I mean, dude, I love all of them, to be honest. Well, I don't really love you, but I love the rest of you. Another tucking lad. A tucking lad that can be placed in the swamp. You're beautiful. I mean, I can't think of anything more beautiful than you. And a low victory point lad. I'm claiming your ass, for sure. Okay. Things are about to get a little weird, I fear. I'm not going to have many birds with stickness is what I'm going to say. Click on any bird from any habitat to spend an egg. Yeah, it's going to be you. And then I got to place you down. I don't have enough eggs. Frick, brother. Frick. That's a problem. Maybe we don't want to do that then. Maybe instead I would like to... Do I need to get more eggs instead to prepare for this? I think we do, okay? So, stick nest, let's do it. Then, tuck a card from my hand. I think that the fish... We're saying goodbye to the stick nest, okay? Fish crow has to go. That tucks puts an egg on you. My next turn, we can do this now. Because I'll have the 2 eggs available to lay these guys down. 2 turns left. Again, we're saying goodbye to stick nests. Although, to be honest with you, there's actually a chance that we could do this differently. So play you, okay? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Click a bird to spend an egg. It's gonna be you. Then we're coming up here. I'm playing... I can't play him in that habitat. That's a good point. So then you're getting played here with a wormy. I'm going to take an egg from you. All players gain a wheat when activated. Or a berry when activated, so that's fine. I just gotta figure out how to spend this last turn, is the reality. I have no food, which is a tough one. Where are we at with these? I mean, I've got 2. I'm claiming second place on this. I really don't think that fighting for first is an intelligent idea here. So I am probably going to just gain some food because I need to play both of these lads on the next time. And I can go... Well, but you're not really helping me all that much is the problem. Because the bird feeder doesn't have the juice that I need inside of it. What birds do we got right now? Down. There are a lot of expensive spicy lads, which I'm not too intrigued about. So it's now like mildly tempting to try to do some more egg laying. Because these just really don't help me. I would activate and gain another berry. I guess it does line me up. Okay, sure. Let's do this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to re-roll. And then we're going to snag... I would like to snag the barn swallow. So we're going to take a little buggy as well. Okay. Yeah. Buggy, go. All players gain a berry. So now I got tons of berry. I am going to tuck a card. It has to be this guy, okay? It has to be this guy. It gives me points. It allows me to draw. I'm going to draw from the deck the blue grosbeak. If this bird is to the right of all other birds in its habitat, move it to another habitat when activated. Okay. I don't mind this. I don't mind this because I can push you back and forth between here and here to claim birds in each of them. But you are a 4 victory point bird, which does not play into my current play. I have 4 of them, so we're about to get 3 victory points from that. I think that round 2 was a little rough for me, okay? But we do get 2 victory points still, so I'm cruising. Next round, birds in swamp. We should have some good plays here. And we're gonna do it immediately. I would like to play a bird in the swamp, okay? So we are going to play... We need to play this guy first because it's more card draw, okay? So I like that. And then we'll spend an egg from you. Eggs don't really matter anymore, except that we obviously want to play eggs down in order to play more birds, right? That part's relatively straightforward. I take a sip of tea, ensuring that I'm caffeinating myself up to survive the rest of my day. We can play this guy. We cannot play that. We can play this guy because I could use 2 berries as 1 resource. That is a thing in this game. So, yeah, I mean, I think I am going to do that because the 2 berries are not very useful to me right now. So I'm going to play you here as well. We'll spend the 2 berries. I'll get rid of an egg right here. Now I got 3 dudes in this camp, which is incredible. I mean, I really like that. That immediately puts me far ahead of the rest of the people. And I think if I plan this correctly, I can probably sneak getting this guy too. But we have to start. I have no eggs right now. That's an important thing to keep in mind as well. We also can get 2 food of any type, which would allow me to get a decent amount. But we would be activating this, which I don't have a card to tuck. So I'm going to... And I'm gonna need that stuff, but I don't have a card to tuck here either. I need to draw. I need to draw stuff. You're very interesting, actually, but I don't like you. I need. What the frick? You're a tuckable bird, which is good. You're also probably a tuckable bird, which is fine. All players gain a wheat is kind of sick. I don't mind helping my people, man. I'm good helping my people. Now we're gonna tuck a card, and quite obviously it has to be this guy. He will never get played. That lays an egg on you, which is nice. This also tucks a card. Guess what? You're getting tucked. Don't care. And I'm gonna take a random card. The Downy Woodpecker. He's cheap. He's under 4 victory points. He's okay. I'm fine with him. And what am I choosing? I think I just have him. Okay. And then 75 centimeters or less. 25 sounds good. You get tucked as well. Look at all the tucking, man. This is 5 victory points right here. And another 2 here. There's 7. Another 4 here. 11 victory points just from tucked cards is... It's really good, man. It's really good. I'm happy. So now you gotta think. You gotta think, okay? We're gonna get a berry from this. I have to find a way to play this guy. They ain't getting 3 birds, okay? We do not have to worry about that. So what propels us forward into the future? That's the best question. I don't need to play this guy now. In fact, I don't think I even want to play this guy right now. Birds currently they're not amazing. I mean, drawing here it's actually so solid to do this because it gets me eggs and it gets me more cards, which allows me to activate more synergies. I'm gonna draw more birds, man. And I'm probably drawing random because I don't like any of these birds. You're kinda sick because you don't require a lot of food, and you get me more food. So I am actually gonna take you. But then I'm gonna draw random. I'm fine with you. You're ass, right? You're terrible, but you're okay at the same time. So So I would like to claim you. I'm going to tuck a card. Is going to be the blue grosbeak. I don't need him. Okay, I don't need him. Lays an egg on that bird. I'm going to tuck the downy woodpecker, I think. It would allow me to play more birds, but I don't need to play more birds there. So I'm going to tuck you. I know that it's a decent chunk of victory points. I'm going to take you. The barred owl. You're a tuck for the future, is the reality. Less than 75, please. Oh my god. Okay, I hate you. It's a tough one. The bush tit. Okay, I need you, brother. You're a beautiful bird. Finally, a good option for me. They're still, brother. They're trash. They're trash. They can't get more two more birds in. There's no way. So I'm drawn. Okay, I'm probably drawing more birds. I know it sounds insane, but the bush tit is incredible. This is also a good idea. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Let's do this, okay? So choose some stuff from the bird feeder. I'm taking a wormy. I'm taking a wheat. Do I want to pay a card here? I really don't. Because I'm going to... Yeah, thank you for my berry. Appreciate that. I get to tuck the barred owl behind this guy and draw another card, which will be the bush tit. And then, bro, we are lined up for the future. We're gonna make sure nobody has me, man. Nobody has me. I'm fine here. Unless somebody has some kind of synergy that allows them to play two more frickin' birds on the same turn. It's very unlikely. This allows me to now sneak in, and we can go bush tit right here. This prepares me for the future, right? We're going to pay those. Click a habitat to spend an egg. That'll be you, my friend. And then that's the end of the round for me. We're going to get some nice victory points from this, and then we're already lining up for an onslaught of birds in here that allows me to then, when I activate this man, I'm talking. It's tuck crazy. Okay. I like being on top of that, and I like being in the race for this. I think that this is wildly pretty good for me. Now, only 5 turns in round 4. We're up against the wire. The ruby-throated hummingbird gets put in, okay? You're going to go right here. I got to pay some food, and I got to pay an egg. Then we just have to think really carefully about how we go about doing the rest of this, okay? Because now we're tied with everybody else. Ideally, I would get another bird in here, but I gotta do some drawing first, okay? I mean, it's kind of like, it's a non-negotiable. We have to draw some birds. So let's draw. How many of these am I at? I'm at 7. Okay, that's exciting. So I got 6 victory points there. I really don't need to do more. Now, the northern mockingbird kind of goes insane. Because I could repeat a brown power on another bird in the habitat, which means that I could tuck more, which gets me more eggs, which gets me more points, which gets me, like, it just kind of goes crazy. So I'm going to take you, and then we're going to draw the Aninga. You're kind of insane. Okay. And it gets it 114 out of the damn deck, so that when I draw the thing in a second from the other guy, we don't worry. So you're going to tuck. Thank you. Lay an egg on this bird. Yes. I'm going to tuck the blue-gray gnat catcher. We're never going to play him, is the reality. I get to draw a card. Swanson's Hawk. You know what? Just means that the Northern Harrier's not drawing his ass. We'd love to see it, okay? Pretty good. More bonus cards would have been nice. But we never got them, so it's okay. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. 3 more turns. And this is where we gotta start thinking a little closer. But I think it's an easy decision for me. I'm going to draw some of these, okay? I'm re-rolling. I need a wormy. And I think I probably take like wheat. Actually, you know what? No, we're gonna take a wheat. That's fine. And then everybody gains one of those. You tuck a bird. Goodbye, Swanson's hawk. I draw a new card. Do I like any of you? You're a double wheat. Lay one on each bird with a stick nest. Can I see can I see a little better, please? Yeah, okay. Each with a stick nest. 1, 2, because you're every nest. 3 is 3 eggs for you. This repeats a brown power, which would... Who's better, you or you? We can afford both of you, and you have to play them on the next turn. We also do... we got a small problem. We got a small problem that is that I do not have the ability to tuck all that much with 2 turns left. I won't have the cards to do it. That makes it difficult. That makes it difficult. I mean, we're gonna... I forget what I'm even doing, man. I'm gonna take you. And then we can at least think about it, right? 2 turns left. 2 turns left. Yeah, I mean, that makes it hard. That makes it hard. Because, like, this is really good. But eggs are points. So we really want to get eggs. And probably... I mean, you probably just full send doing this. It's just does playing this guy one final time. Do I have the eggs to even do that, actually? I don't. I don't have the eggs to play you. That's unfortunate, because this costs 2 eggs for me to put you in here. Oh, except I have the chance to claim this, man. Okay, then that's fine. We're going to go... I'm gonna play you on the final turn. Or, do you do it here? I don't know. I might be... This has the potential. I would... You're banking on drawing a bird that can go... in the... I'm thinking basically where... This is, I do this, is 3 victory points for eggs, plus 2 victory points from the tucks, plus 2 victory points from the eggs that get laid on these guys from the tucks. So this play right here is 7 victory points for me, just to click and lay eggs. Then the next turn, like that's tucking these guys. So I don't have any birds, right? It also means that if anybody dips ahead of me, I'm not claiming this, which I think is okay. We're all tied. Somebody's probably going to lay a bird there. The problem is that if I do this, I could tuck just this guy and then still lay this guy down. He's 2 victory points, which unfortunately is, I mean, it's just not that good, but it does make up for not tucking him. And it gives me a higher potential to get 7 from being in the lead on this. Okay. That makes the decision easier. I'm going to lay eggs on you guys. I'm going to pay a... I don't have the juice for you though. Each player gains a thing from the bird feeder. Okay, that will work then. So then let's spend this to do an additional. Okay. Click on a bird to lay an egg. SU. Then you're going to activate. I'm going to gain a thing from the bird feeder. I'm going to claim a... Choose a player who will gain first. That's me. I'm going to gain a wheat. Because that allows me to then play this guy. Why didn't I activate any of this? Excuse me? Did I skip it by accident? Oh, no. That's horrible. Tuck a card from hand. Oh, no, they were all choosing their stuff. It's still my turn. We're good. Okay, so now we're going to tuck. You get tucked. lays an egg. You, we are not tucking. We're skipping you. So don't do that. Just skip. I want to skip the power, please, because I need to lay this guy down on the final turn. Which loses 2 eggs, I guess, but the 7 victory point potential is worth it. Yeah. I mean, you try, right? It will at least tie, and I think that that's good enough. I will say we don't have a lot of points from eggs, but we do have a lot of points from tucks, which is good. And you have the points from this. So take those 2, lay it down, the Inca Dove. Oh, this is when played he does this. Oh, okay, brother, that's even better. So then I actually get to lay down 4 eggs as well. Okay, that made him super worth it. I thought he was a when activated. Somebody was probably screaming when I did that. This is a big win for us, man. I think that we easily win this round against the AI. I'm happy with this setup. And I claimed that, so I get another 7 victory points from you. And now it's GG, and we see where things go. So this is the amount of victory points on our birds. I'm the least, but that's kind of by design here, because I'm about to ramp up at the end. There's a lot of eggs, but this is where tucked cards, man. I'm about to go to the moon. Okay. It was tight. It was tight. I got the victory by 5 points. It was the tucked cards that propelled me. Mr. Owl put up a hell of a fight. I mean, this is an insane amount of points from the birds. Can we take a look at his place here? He got an 8 down, like filled with eggs, but not much going on here. And in the forest, a lot of eggs, man. Another 8. Yeah, he got some spicy birds, but guess what? It wasn't enough because I won. So a good round. It's a good board game, man, and hopefully you can kind of see where the roguelike mechanics that I'm feeling while I play the game. I'm not saying that it is, but you start to feel them. It's fun to check them out and play board games. Hopefully you can check them out for yourself. I will say that something I didn't mention earlier is that there's a lot of ways to play board games even if you don't have friends to play them with, right? There's a really awesome site, Boardgame Arena. Free to join. You can play games with a bunch of people. A bunch of really awesome board games on that site. There's Tabletop Simulator if you're in an online community, such as the Olexa Discord that you can join with a link in the description down below. People will play Tabletop Simulator and play board games on there. And also, if you're a little bit more social of a person, there's definitely some board game cafes in the area you're at, I'm sure. You can check those out as well, make some new friends, play some games. It's a growing industry, and with the roguelike industry adjacent also growing, these two speak to each other a lot more than I think a lot of people realize, so it was fun to make a little video on this. Thanks for watching. As always, liking the video much appreciated. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.